All right, and I'm going to take this next section where we pivot a little bit to talk more about sites conceptually and specifically to the question of using one or multiple, which if you joined last year for Site Building Live, you might remember was a topic that we covered there. So as you know, Refined allows you to build unlimited sites from a single instance, but often the question is, should you? And of course, the answer depends on your organization, your users, and other factors. Now, it's a question that we faced ourselves over the past year. So thinking about one site, the advantages are that it can be a common destination for a variety of content. Plus, if you need to, you can use tools like view permissions to show only what's relevant to certain user groups, allowing you to accommodate more than one type of user potentially. Multiple sites, on the other hand, allows you to serve up different content to different audiences with different needs and potentially for different use cases altogether. So we recently grappled with this question ourselves, and we were so happy with the outcome that we wanted to share it with you today. So for some background, heading into 2023, we were running 3 customer-facing sites. We had this one, our support site, which had our customer support service desks from Jira Service Management, plus FAQs pulled from Confluence. We had our documentation site, which contained documentation for all of our products, also pulled from Confluence. And needless to say, this was really important stuff for customers to get up and running. And then we had our migration site, which is primarily Confluence documentation, but we did have a couple of request types on there from Jira Service Management related to migration. And most commonly, this was used by customers migrating from DC to cloud. But we had a number of issues with the separate sites model. The primary users of these sites all fit the same general profile in that they're most likely customers. So we realized we were potentially confusing them by forcing them to hop between sites instead of sending them to one easy to access destination. Migration and documentation users were also navigating to the support site. Support seekers may have been overlooking documentation and migration that could have helped them on a different site. And then on top of that, we were managing 3 separate sites by 3 separate teams. So there was a lot of duplicative work being done. So we decided to streamline into one site that would address all 3 needs, help.refined.com. And I'll give you a quick tour of the site in hopes that it helps any of you considering a similar consolidation, or if you're considering adapting an existing site for more purposes. So here's a look at help.refined.com. You'll see up at the top on the nav, we created dedicated pathways for documentation, migration, and support. Documentation, which is these first 2 items, is broken out by hosting type, cloud and data center, offering pathways to landing pages for each product if you click these drop downs. And on these landing pages, if we click through, you can see we have a search bar tied to the Confluence documentation for this product specifically, which ensures that search results are relevant. We have this page tree, which we hope helps people find the right type of documentation before they enter into that area of the site, which we'll show you in a second. And also down here, this blog for new releases and news. Up top here, we have migration, also broken up by cloud and data center with landing pages similar to the ones I just showed you. And finally, we have the support section of the site over here on the right. And for this, you can either use a drop down to select your hosting or click through to a landing page and choose it that way. Up here, we have a big can't miss icon for the FAQs, so we can hopefully direct folks there. Clicking through to the FAQ, you can see that it's conveniently intermixed with the documentation. So it's just a click away. Often we find answers to support queries are found in here, so we like that it's located close by. But going back to the request page, to the cloud landing page, you can see we also have our request types accessible here if that self-help fails, and an issue tracker down below, which shows active requests. And what's nice here is users can file their requests right on this page without switching context or navigating away to Jira Service Management. They just hit send and then hopefully continue learning. So that is our new help site. We're already seeing a major improvement from the consolidated site. It's easier on customers to remember one site. Support and documentation are a natural fit to deliver together because if you need one, you often need the other. And maintenance is easier for us internally. If you're thinking of doing a similar consolidation or reworking an existing site to accommodate a new purpose or use case, here's our advice to you. First, put your audience first. Think about what they need. Are they better off with one or two sites? And could simple fixes like view permissions maybe make one site better for everyone versus creating a new one? Invest your time upfront in your content strategy before you build. So think about all of the actions you want users to take, the content that they need, and how it will all fit together. We, for example, had a dedicated workshop and multiple rounds of reviews to map out the content strategy before we actually built the consolidated site. And finally, less is more. So aim to keep the user experience simple and streamlined, eliminating unnecessary noise and content. That will help you help your users find what they came looking for easier. So that's all for this segment. Thank you for joining us today. We're really glad we were able to show you the new page builder as well as all the other new product features. Like we said in the beginning, keep an eye out for an email from us with this recording and a link to our Team 23 site, team23.refine.com. Don't forget, we'll be at booth number 76 in Las Vegas. We hope to see you. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you soon.